Hey, it's Tim,
It's David.
and we're with the Fridays.
We're at the end. We're at the end of Uncharted.
Hold on! Nathan! They're gaining on us! I know. We'll crank it! Sam, I'm going as fast as I can!
What the nani?
Welcome to another episode of Worth It Fridays. Woo! Today we are finishing David's solo reviews of the series Uncharted, specifically Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Oh, what a good title. What a good title.
I guess this is a DLC, but for the main storyline, this is the fourth game, and I assume the last one. So, Uncharted 4 Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is an action-adventure game, third-person shooter with platforming. Developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment exclusively for the PS4, or at least exclusively was on the PS4, and now on the PS5 in the Legacy of Thieves collection. Thank you, Sony. The game was released worldwide for the PlayStation 4 on May 10, 2016, and is now also released for the PlayStation 5. The Legacy of Thieves collection will also be released on PC at some point this year in 2022. This game is set 3 years after the conclusion of Drake's Deception. A Thief's End follows Nathan Drake, now a retired fortune hunter, as he reunites with his long-lost brother, Samuel.
Oh, Troy Baker.
And seeks to save him from a ruthless tyrant by setting off on another adventure that involves finding Captain Henry Avery's fabled pirate treasure. Again, what does this game offer? Well, as the rest of the series goes, you got more platforming, more third-person shooter elements, with probably even more guns. You got more treasures, more speed runs, more cool mods and skins available, more quick time events, and now you got probably one of the best action story ever, involving more betrayal, brotherhood, revenge, explosions, mystery, friendship, love, greed, suspense, and family. You got more interactive decision making, and you got swinging, baby, and more controller interaction. So this review will be based on the platform PS4 in the Nathan Drake's. No, sorry, not the Nathan Drake's collection. Those are the other three. But this one is on its own on the PS4. Sorry, I'm just so used to saying Nathan Drake's collection.
Oh, totally. We did the trilogy episodes series.
So, with all that information and now all out of the way, we shall now get into David's review of Uncharted 4. So, take it away.
All right, Tim. So, my goodness, we're gonna start with the story, and my goodness, like I literally want to cry. Like it's that good of a story. Where, okay, spoiler alert. It's a final installment, so it's the end. So there's no Uncharted 5. There's no more Nathan Drake. Like this is it. This is it. So this story was literally like for me, like Avengers Endgame. Like this is like the epic conclusion. This is the end. How are they going to end it? And I have to say, Naughty Dog did so well again to complete a good story to end Nathan Drake's adventure. And it's just so satisfying just to see how his story came up and like how they even like start the game. Because you're like, wait, I thought Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception was the best game ever of the Uncharted series. They're like, say no more. We're gonna add something really good to it. And of course, in the beginning, they did introduce Nathan's brother, Sam Drake. And you're like wondering like, oh, let me guess. He's gonna be like that brother where he came out of nowhere and he's gonna betray everyone. Well, I'm not going to say anything to that, but who knows? You get to find out when you play the game. But the story itself is just so good because, like, from the previous game, we learned how Sully and Nathan met. But now this one's more about Nathan's family. That's why the key theme of the story is family. Because you get to find out who Nathan Drake really is before he met Sully. And you get to know about his family. And the way they created this story of how the term Nathan Drake came in. So to who he is now. It's just really phenomenal and just really interesting. It just makes you want to just learn more. And the way they approach it was like through the gameplay. I'm just kind of getting ahead over here a little bit, but like through the gameplay, they make you really interact with all the little things to really know who is Sam and who is Nathan and where did they come from? Where did this hobby of learning the history of the treasure of Francis Drake and now King Henry Avery's pirate treasure, and you find out that the reason why this treasure is so important to them because this happened, and you're like, dang, as a player, you're like, I need to know why they're doing this. Like, is this like the epic conclusion? But like, it's so interesting how they brought the theme of brotherhood, because usually you're so used to Sully and Nathan, kind of like father and son almost. But now they're like, nah, we're gonna change the theme to brotherhoods now. And what I really like about the story is like the story is not just based on the cutscene. The story also continues with the gameplay. And what I mean by gameplay is that every time you play a level like typical platformer, jumping up to this, climbing up to that, start shooting these guys. But Naughty Dog really did really well on adding the dialogues between them as they're interacting with the level that you're playing. So, of course, with Brotherhoods, like there's one part where Nathan's really old, right? So they're kind of criticizing each other's age and be like, hey, can you still do this? And then let's say, and then you do this. And then I think there's like two options where you're like, if you screw it up, then Sam will start making fun of you like, huh, okay, I see. And then Nathan's like, hey, you know, I'm just practicing, man, right? Or if you did it first try and you got it, then Nathan would be like doing the opposite, like, haha, told you I got it still. So like these little dialogues you hear really helps the player to understand their relationship between each other, and that's what makes the story really rich and driven. Is like you get too personal with these two characters, and you want to learn more about them. So the story is just balance. It's like a nice conclusion balance of love, betrayal. I'm not saying who you're gonna get betrayed, but just saying there's betrayal involved. There's really good story. But the one thing that Naughty Dog did really well is that they didn't leave Elena Fisher out. I'll tell you this, she's right in the beginning of the game. So yeah, that's a little spoiler, but not really. It's just the beginning of the game. So she's there, guys. Don't worry, she won't like dip out of the story like in the previous game, but she's here this time, and this is the end. So yeah, a lot of themes about family and the story. Like the ending of the story, I'll tell you this, it's very satisfying. Like it's like satisfying as you're at peace with it, where you're like, you know what, that's a good ending for our greatest treasure fortune hunter is Nathan Drake, and this is how his ends. It's that good. It's a very peaceful kind of thing. Like actually no, I can't say that. It's gonna be a spoiler to the movie of reference. Then never mind. Don't worry about it. But it's at peace. You're gonna be at peace with this game at the end, and it's really good, amazing game. But like enough talking about the story, because the more I talk about it, I'm gonna start spoiling things. So I don't want to do that to you guys here. So I'm gonna start moving over to the gameplay and the contents of the game. So the gameplay, of course, how can you beat Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception gameplay? It's already improved from the last two games, and you know what? Naughty Dog did again really well, because they actually invested on using the feature of the PlayStation 4 controller. So if you guys remember, the first 3 game was just PS3, but now Uncharted 4 is the next gen at the time. So this was like something different now. Like the PS4 controller has more interaction, has a swipe, shaking motions, and like, tilting the controller. So Naughty Dog did really well with integrating these kind of things. So for example, there's one level in the game where you're in the cave and your flashlight is not working. And of course, every character or every person on Earth could be like, huh, my flashlight's flickering, maybe I should just bang on it, right? So I thought automatically Nathan, his character, would just do it. But then the game actually prompts you to grab the controller and like hit the end of the controller handle and just to get the flashlight working. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I'm like, what the heck? Like, is the game actually making me doing this? So when I saw that, I'm like, wow, this game is so immersive. So they added that kind of feature, which is great and awesome and effective. As well as very new thing, like they added grappling hooks. Not like Batman where you get to shoot, but more like you get to throw. And the game really invests you to swing like Spider-Man. So when I saw this, I'm like, huh, is this why they brought Tom Holland into the Uncharted movie? Because he's Spider-Man and Uncharted 4 is all about swinging? Uh-huh. Nah, I'm just being skeptical, but essentially this new mechanic of swinging is really, really smooth. The way they make you as a player to swing is they make you swing in a way where you either swing across or you make you swing, but then making you realize there's actually another side of this cliff for you to climb down. So then you have an option to hanging on or sliding down or sliding up. So there's so much more to this kind of grappling hook, and Naughty Dog really did really well to kind of invest on making more of a unique, intricate platforming game where you get to explore in puzzles. So the swinging is just satisfying once you get it. Of course, every game is pretty good with explosion, and I would say in this game, there's a lot of explosion, but very unpredictable explosion. Where in Uncharted 3, you are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna blow this up, boom, explosion. Helicopters down, boom, explosion. Planes going down, boom, explosion, kind of thing, right? But with Uncharted 4, Naughty Dog did really well to kind of sneak one up here where it gets your heart rate going. So for example, like, not too spoiler, there's gonna be a level where you guys are get to play where you're kind of climbing this thing. And you're like, oh, okay, so, you know, this thing is pretty cool. All right, and you click a switch, right? And then you realize something happens. And then next you know, you went from this calm puzzle solver climbing level to an epic explosion running away level kind of thing, and just gets you off guard. And again, Naughty Dog is really good at this. They add it as a cutscene cinematic gameplay, of course. So the whole time you're just like, wait, hold on. I thought I was at peace. I'm enjoying the scene. I'm enjoying how high I'm going up. And then boom, there you go. Now you're running and dodging things and like running backwards and stuff. So that was really cool to see how Naughty Dog was able to transition the players to be like, hey, this game is not just about being calm and stuff. So just watch out for that. Definitely the AI of the game, like I mentioned in Uncharted 3, where sometimes the AI or the NPC, they just kind of block your way and you're like, get out of my way. This time, they're actually pretty smart. Pretty smart. Like, I'll tell you this, like, I thought I was gonna die, but for some reason, Sully comes in with a clutch and snipes the guy for me. I'm like, oh, wow, thanks, Sully. And it made me really appreciate who Sully was as a character. Like, not like I appreciate him since the first game, but the AI is really nice and pretty cool. What else? Like, there's a lot they added to. Like, the one thing they add is like the interaction of decision making. So, for example, there's gonna be a level where a character will ask you like, hey, tell me like what happened, like or when did this happen? And then the game will actually prompt you like 4 options based on the buttons. So like square, triangle, circle, and X. And then you as a player get to decide on what Nathan should respond to this question. So I thought like, oh, this is different. This is kind of getting a little bit more personal now. Like, even though the story is great, but now it's more personal how you want Nathan Drake to respond in your way and what you believe Nathan should answer. So it's really good to see. And I guess there are kind of some replay values. Like, maybe I should go back and like try this answer and see, like a Telltale game. But I would say there's very few of it, so don't expect too much. But it was just kind of nice to see. I think it was just to help to get set the mood in and really help the players get really interactive what's going on. So I thought that was really cool. I do have to say, like, you know, as the end, like, it's gonna be kind of a spoiler, but it's like in the first 10 minutes of the game. I'll tell you this, Naughty Dog did a really nice appreciation thank you gift to the fans, where they actually dedicated a level where you're kind of in the attic, and then as you go through the attic, there's gonna be gameplay to this, by the way, but in the attic, it literally shows you not every little, like some Easter egg thing from all 3 previous games, where it just, for me as a player from playing 1 to 3 straight, it got really personal. I got literally like, man, this game is so good. Like, I remember this. It's a lot of like reminiscing, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that was like a good game, or that was the annoying part of the games kind of thing. And then of course, it's really good to see like Nathan Drake himself making comments about it. So it like really helps the player to feel. And this is why I think now, personally, that this is like one of the best game ever for Uncharted 4, because of these kind of little comments, and then that the game developers contribute this level just to kind of say thank you to the fans playing this game. So it was really nice, and anyway, it's like a tutorial level too, so I thought that was pretty cool too. I'm like, oh, it's a tutorial level, so I'm like, yeah, so it's not really spoiler. It's just a tutorial level. So just a heads up, it gets kind of emotional when you're playing this game because you're like, this is the greatest finale ever, and this is gonna be epic kind of thing. So that's pretty much the new gameplay of that I noticed playing this game. Everything else they kept it same as the previous game, but just a lot improved. But for now coming up for the graphics here, the graphics of the game, holy crap! Like, this is like when Final Fantasy comes in. Like, the graphics are so real. It's so different than PS3, and of course it's next gen. But when you look at all the original characters like Sully, Chloe, Elena, Nathan Drake himself, right? They're old. They're old. They age. But like the graphics is so enhanced and so detailed. Like, I thought I was playing a Final Fantasy game. Like, that's how good the graphic is. That's like my standard of good graphic is Final Fantasy graphics, and this is what it is. Like, holy cow! It's just so crisp and good, and you know, I'm like, oh, it's probably just a cutscene, right? The cutscene's just gonna be that good graphic, then the gameplay's just kind of low res, right? But no, the game consistently kept its Final Fantasy graphic throughout the whole game. Like, the environment is beautiful. It looks too real. Like, when my wife was watching me play, she thought we were in like the islands. Like, this is like too real. And like half the time, like, you know, Uncharted 1, I spent half the time just looking at the scenery. Yeah, this one I spent like hours looking at the scenery because it's just that good. And like, sometimes I get myself distracted, but it's just that good. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing about new gameplay. They added like a Jeep Wrangler. So I know Tim, he loves his Jeep Wrangler. So there's a level dedicated to a Jeep Wrangler, and you know what? You think it's just like point A to point B? Nah, Naughty Dog's like, you know what? We're gonna do a puzzle with the Jeep Wrangler. So, for example, your Jeep Wrangler's stuck under a cliff, and you need something to pull it up, and you're like, hey, look, there's a tree up there, and hey, look, this Jeep Wrangler has a wire. Guess what? You get to pull that wire up, wrap around that tree, and then just accelerate up the way and continue on the game. So it's not just point A, point B. There's actually puzzle involved. So Naughty Dog did really well having that. So, but other than that, coming back to the graphics, it's just that beautiful, guys. Like, literally, if you want to go to like the Bahamas or the islands and you have no money, that's how good this graphic is. It makes you feel like you're actually there. So I would say, yo, it's so good. So graphics, just amazing. And you know, coming from the graphics. Now we're coming down to the cost of the game. So luckily for me, I got this game for $20 from a friend because he was selling his PS4. So I kind of got a good deal. But you know, now seeing at this time the Legacy of Thieves is out for the PS5, I would say, you know what? Don't if you're that tight of a budget, maybe buy the PS4. But I gotta say, Legacy Thieves Collection, I would say it's definitely worth the full price because not just one game, you're getting 2 games, right? So, and of course it's on PS5. Yo, it's enhanced even further. Like when I played this game on my PS4, I have to say, disclaimer, my PS4 was like burning. You just hear the fan go like so many times because that's how good the graphics is and it's handled to take. So yeah. So, but now coming to the cost, so I'd say cost worth the price for the collection. But if you're tight on money, okay, I guess you could buy it for the PS4, but I would say get it for the PS5. Get it way better, because it just gets more interactive for it. For the criticism of the game, I only got one. Only one criticism. Only one. There's no more Nathan Drake. There's no more Uncharted games. This is it. This is the end. And that's my only criticism of the game. Everything else is perfect. I had no problems with it. I didn't really get annoyed with it. Everything was just that good. And my only criticism is this is the end. That's it. There's no more. So I'm really sad. Yeah, that's pretty much my review, Tim.
Hell yeah, Jeep Wranglers.
Yeah, right?
In closing, overall, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is yet another fantastic game. The story is filled with full, in-depth character development of Nathan Drake, his family, many returning characters. Every level has, in David's words, Michael Bay in it. Amazing balance of drama and action. The gameplay continues to be fantastic, and with a few new mechanics and intriguing puzzles to solve, choices to choose, swinging and sliding, continuous cinematic gameplay scenes. The graphics next gen, next level, just real and beautiful. And David's rating of this game is.
Oh, is that good? This is like one of the first reviews we have that's 10 out of 10. That's right. 10 out of 10. This is it. Like, my literally only criticism is no more Nathan Drake. That's the only criticism. That's how good this game is. It's 10 out of 10. Oh, and the ending. I say you gotta play it just for the ending. It's epic and sad at the same time. You just gotta play it.
And so there you have it. This is Worth It Friday's first 10 out of 10. We say first, but technically David did give Spider-Man on PS4 a 10 out of 10. Only stopped by me because I gave it like a 9, so that's why it's a 9.5 on our review if you want to check it out. But this is thankfully David's solo review, so I can't stop him. This is David's.
Oh, don't stop me, man.
This is David's 10 out of 10. And
you gotta play it yourself, Tim. You gotta play it. You gotta say it's 10 out of 10.
I probably wouldn't disagree at that point. And I think it's from the sounds of it, like, you know, the choices that you have. It sounds like at least my assumptions are it's possibly ways to get any new players who don't want to like play the older versions and just play the brand spanking new next gen Uncharted. I think that's a way for them to give information from the previous events without, you know, like going all the way back, but then at least giving Easter eggs and kind of stuff for newer players who have already. I don't need that information. Just give me the good stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
So sweet. Can't believe that's there. It's a good way to. It's a good Sony exclusive. One of those, you know, things that if you buy PlayStation, this is definitely one of those games that you probably want in your library for the PlayStation, which I should probably get at some point.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'll let you borrow the game. I'll even let you borrow the limited edition Uncharted 4 Thief's End controller. Like, yeah, I played that game with that limited edition controller, and it was an honor to do it. It felt right. It felt right.
Can't wait to try to fix my flashlight.
It's not working.
For now, I think that's it for the Uncharted series. Thanks to David and for playing all 4 games pretty fast, I guess, in terms of his schedule. And I'm glad that David has enjoyed it. So
maybe cry a little bit. It's over. It's over.
So yeah, if you guys like David's reviews and or any videos on our channel, then, you know, like this video. And as well, if you guys are enjoying the content that we put out, then hit that subscribe button, as we want to just put up more fun, either reviews either from me or David specifically, or reviews that we do together. And of course, click that notification button, as whenever we release the videos, you guys will see it in the box, and you guys can comment down below if you guys have played this game before. So we also have a Facebook and Instagram page where we like to post teasers and of our episodes or whatever we have, fun shorts and stuff like that onto those accounts as well. So follow on Facebook, follow on Instagram, and we'll put those also in the link in the description below. That's it for the Uncharted series. Thanks to David for reviewing them. It was fun listening into them, seeing David's thoughts, and trying to siphon through David's amazing amount of early gameplay, because I know David leaves a lot. I always try to find like what David's talking about as I like edit these videos, so it's always fun.
It's that good.
It's that good.
Yeah. Can't believe we're at the end.
David says he always dies by these explosions, but I don't see him dying by these explosions. He's too good in his gameplays, whatever he sends me.
Well, I guess we'll see when you look at the gameplay footage I sent you.
Oh shoot. Anyways, it was fun. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video, and hope you guys have a good day or night or whatever.
The time is at. Have a good day. Night.
See ya.
Bye.